Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. I'm here with my Mickey mug this morning, the evolution of Mickey, and we're going to talk about Mercy, new movie with Chris Pratt. That's on the agenda today. Hope everybody's weekend is going well. If you're in one of the places that's getting hit with the storm and cold weather, make sure you stay safe out there. We're fortunate that here in Missoula, we didn't get blasted by a bunch of snow. We still don't hardly have anything this year. However, it is pretty cold. Taking Rocky up the mountain yesterday, my wife stayed home. She just didn't want to go out in the cold. She was already feeling cold before it went out. But, have to bundle up, dress appropriately, and be careful. Fortunate that Rocky's got that double coat being a mini Aussie, and he loves it out there. But you still got to be careful with your pets and make sure that they're prepared. And, depending on the type of pet you have, keep them safe from that cold weather too. So just be safe if you're dealing with some of this winter weather, especially if you're getting hit in places where you normally don't have to deal with it. So I had a great training yesterday. I hopped off here and immediately zipped out the door, and great training, really lively, energetic group that had a lot of questions. I actually went quite a bit past our scheduled time because of so many questions and good conversation and stuff going on, which normally and many times I don't. A lot of times I'm speaking, at events where you have to have a solid cutoff time because maybe you got somebody coming on after you or different or that. But yesterday was actually one of those rare times where, because of the questions, because of the dialogue and things that were going on, we went past the allotted time, but everybody was okay with it. And so really good training, fun group. We worked on effective communication and de-escalation skills and dealing with conflict. And then we actually did the Reflex Protect user course training, what it is, when and when not to use it and how to use it. Going out and spraying inerts and practicing a little bit as well. So just a really fun day of training. And so pretty tired after the training. It takes a lot of energy to keep going for hours and hours teaching a big group of people. So after that, took Rocky up for his walk out in the cold and then decided to go to Mercy last night. It was an interesting concept, and I enjoyed the movie. I like Chris Pratt. And I really didn't know what to expect from the movie. And so it was sort of different than what I thought it was going to be. And the premise, sort of interesting, in the future, they have this AI judge, jury, executioner. So when they catch criminals and it's AI is saying, it's almost positive that they're guilty, they put them in this mercy trial. And it's just the individual and this AI judge, and the individual is presumed guilty because of all the evidence and AI saying the person is, and it's up to the person to prove they are innocent or they'll be executed. And so you have to prove to this AI judge that you are innocent, and you're strapped to a chair, but you have access to everything that's all connected, through this AI. So all the video cameras, recordings, evidence, everything that's out there, you have access to through the AI world. So interesting premise of, how this is going on. And Chris Pratt played a cop who is being framed for a murder, and he's trying to use all this AI stuff and get this AI judge to believe that he's innocent and prove his innocence. So it was an interesting concept in the way they did everything. So I enjoyed the movie. And so, I don't want to tell too much more about what's going on, but that's, what's set out, and then how he goes about doing things and everything that's going on. But it was interesting and fun to see how they did stuff. And, I enjoyed it for something kind of different type of movie. Also wanted to say that, yesterday, before I did Coffee with Alain and went to the training, I make my morning posts. Actually, my Your Warrior's Edge post from yesterday is doing better than any post I've ever posted before. It has over 2,000 likes, 700 shares, tons of comments, which I was replying to last night, and a few more this morning that showed up. So just interesting how this social media works. I can post something and it'll hardly get any likes or shares. And then I post something, boom, 24 hours later, it's 700 shares, a couple thousand likes. So I think that's pretty cool. It's not the millions of numbers like some of these little gals in bikinis or celebrities get, but for a martial art post, getting several thousand likes and 700 shares, I thought that was pretty good. The martial art community isn't a huge community, but it's a strong community and one I'm proud to be of. So I thought that was sort of cool to get a martial art post shared and liked so many times. Want to say good morning to Thad. Thad said good morning. Appreciate being here, Thad. Dixon said me. Dixon said me must be down in an area that normally doesn't get the cold weather, but they're getting hit with some cold weather now. Stay warm, Dixon, and stay safe out there, especially when the roads ice up. People that aren't familiar with driving on ice and winter conditions, you have to modify your driving and be safe in those conditions, or just don't go out on them, because it's definitely different and it's definitely dangerous if you're not prepared. So stay safe out there, everybody, in the winter conditions. Stay warm. Keep your pets protected as well. Again, that's going to depend on what kind of pet you have. I can take Rocky out in the cold. You got a husky, you got a Malamute, you can go out in the cold all day and they're just going to love it. Other dogs, other pets, not so much. So you guys got to be careful with them and make sure you keep them safe. Samuel's here and said hi and asked how I'm doing. I'm doing well, Samuel. Thank you for being here, saying hello. I hope you're doing well as also. I'm going to jump off here, try to get caught up doing a few different things today. Hope everybody has a super Sunday. One of the things I'll be doing is getting that newsletter ready and sending that out. If you're not on the list, get on it right away, because it'll go out this evening from enjoylifesafely.com. Dixon said, no, you have to take note of the ellipsis. Mercy me. All right. Thank you, Dixon. You had that one on me today. So thank you much. Thank you, everybody. Go out, make it a super Sunday. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. I will be back to see you tomorrow. Probably have a little bit of motivational message for Monday.